What's up, guys? Welcome back for another video. We're going to react to this short from The Problem with Jon Stewart real quick. It's going over the tax system and how messed up it is. A friend of mine sent this to me a while back, and I thought, I was like, you know what? Let's react to it and post it on the channel because it could be some interesting stuff. So let's give it a go.
That's how the system works. You pay taxes to the government pools that money and uses it to provide the people with essential goods and services that they need.
Okay, real quick. So taxes, yes, that's what your taxes are for. Your taxes are to pay for things that otherwise private industries or private companies, it would cost too much for them to maintain. So what your government does with the tax code is they give tax incentives to businesses and individuals to incentivize certain behaviors. But in order for them to give those tax incentives, they have to have tax revenue. Originally, before our current progressive income tax system, it used to be based off of alcohol sales. And then they changed it to a progressive income tax. They could have left it on liquor, but whatever. Anyway, let's keep going.
In this country, we've got a different system for getting the things we need. Take healthcare. We pay taxes to the government, and the government gives our money to a middleman for profit insurance companies or for profit health providers. And the insurance companies provide health coverage in exchange for maybe some more money from us.
Okay, so right here, he's 100% correct. I mean, it's Jon Stewart. Yeah, of course he's going to he's going to research whatever topic is that he's going over. Exactly. This is 100% correct, except for the fact that the healthcare provider is not a middleman because what they're getting from the government as a grant or a tax incentive to provide that service. Because think of how expensive it would be to provide healthcare for all of the American public all of the time. Yes, it's going to be expensive, but if they really didn't want to have this middleman in the middle, we could have just subsidized healthcare for the whole country through the Affordable Care Act from a few years back. But people were, the public was, they weren't, a portion of the public was receptive to that, while the other portion of the public was like, no, we don't want that. And while they may say that they didn't want that, the people that really didn't want it was insurance companies, not necessarily the healthcare providers themselves, the insurance companies, because the health insurance companies would then lose a whole market. Because like in my old video, not my old video, but in one of my other videos about transactions, I said that you need to know what you're paying for and why you're buying it, because it's a contract. You want to know the stipulations of your contract. And like with anything that's ever been written down over the course of human history, very few people read their contracts and know what they can do with it and what they can't do with it. And so the insurance companies, not just health insurance, but car insurance, homeowners insurance, all of those have in their contracts clauses and stipulations that prevent you from actually utilizing the service that you're paying for. But they'll backdoor you at the same time and tell you that it's your fault. You did not know that this was not covered. In which, under contract law in the United States, they would be correct, because as long as they disclose it to you in your contract, and if you sign your name on that contract, you're liable for whatever is in it. So even in this case, it looks like they're a middleman. They're not. They're providing you a service. It's just not a really good one. It sucks, to be honest. Their service hinges on them getting your money so that you're covered, so that when you do go to the doctor, you don't have to pay an arm and a leg. But then they also don't want to pay either, because that's how they keep making money, by not paying. It's ass backwards, but that's insurance. Yeah, let's keep going.
And a deductible. It covers not everything, certainly not your teeth or your skin or your eyes. It's a pretty good system if you own an insurance company.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a completely good system when you know that you can double dip on the government. You can free eat off the government, because they'll give you a tax. Since you're a for-profit organization, your business expenses are tax deductible. Your labor is tax deductible. Hell, even like depending on how you do your compensation, that's either not taxable or tax deductible. There's so many things you can do with the tax code if you ran a business. It's just ridiculous.
Companies like United Health and Aetna collect 70% of their health plan revenue from government programs. Humana, 90%. These health plan businesses would not exist without our tax money. And it's not just healthcare.
A lot of things wouldn't exist without your tax money. If I got a coworker that I work with, and I tell him all the time because I heard this from another guy. He used to tell me that a chicken will pull a wagon, and I always would look like, huh, man, chickens don't pull wagons, man. And when he told me that, and this was before I started going to school. This was before I went to college. This was like what 12 years ago. But as I was going through college and I was studying business, finances, and human resources and all that good stuff, I learned that yes, in fact, a chicken will pull a wagon. And a matter of fact, multiple chickens will pull the wagon. And it's not that hard to get them to do it. You just, you know, make it a tax. Because it's how do I it's like this, right? You have things like the in Oklahoma, you have the OMMA, the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority. And down here, they do not like drugs or any way, shape, or form. But they wanted to legalize marijuana use so bad that they got to the medical part, and that's good. But they took something that was a felony and turned it into a taxable product. And so it's a sin tax, right? Like it's legitimately a straight up sin tax. And we signed up for it. And but at the same time, you sign up for it. One day the public signs up for a sin tax, right? So they can get the thing. In this case, the marijuana. But then we'll turn around and backdoor you at about January of next year when it's time to file their taxes, and they'll come to an accountant like me or anyone else and go, "How do I pay less taxes?" And they signed up for a sin tax not too like just a few months ago. I'm like, how do we how do we help? I can't help you when you think like that. Okay. You signed up for something that wasn't you signed up to pay taxes on something that wasn't taxable to begin with, and then you turn around and tell me you want to pay less taxes. I don't understand. But anyway, it's almost finished. Let's keep going.
It's pharma, oil and gas, higher education. Taxpayers subsidize these industries who then take their profits, and we still pay so-called free market rates for their product. It's a classic double.
Yeah, but you also have he and those industries that he's got listed there. Colleges, pharmaceutical companies, healthcare, oil and gas. That's just a few. You got technology. You've got farms. You've got auto industry. You've got churches, nonprofits, banks. Everybody is subsidized off of the government. Everybody. It's just we don't want to subsidize specific groups of people as much as we subsidize others. Like we complain about subsidizing the banks and all that, but then we'll turn around and subsidize another industry like pharmaceutical industry, which I used to ask my friends all the time, what's the difference between a pharmacist and a drug dealer? And I'd say one of them is actually legal because fundamentally they're doing the same thing, just point blank. One's certified to do it legally, the other one is not. But the government subsidizes all of this stuff. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with the subsidy. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the subsidy itself. It's how we do the subsidy or how we provide that subsidy. Like for colleges, for example, the government gives you a Pell Grant, where they set a mandatory minimum right here. Okay, they'll give you a Pell Grant. This year is like $8,000, and a college knows that if they can get you, like especially for a lower income individual who doesn't have a lot of income to contribute to their education, you're likely to get a maximum Pell Grant. So the college wants to maximize that Pell Grant because that's just free government money for nothing, right? For no additional work on their part, they get maximize that free government money and then still turn around and backdoor you for more of it. Because over here in over here where I live, we have this college program where if you just come right out of high school, you can go to college for free for 2 years, which sounds awesome. But if you look at the cost of how much it costs to attend that school without that program, it maxes out your Pell Grant. So it's really, so on one end it's really really cheap, on the other end it's not. So it's like, okay, are we really getting free college tuition here, or are you guys just banking off the fact that you're going to get a Pell Grant? Because I genuinely believe that's what they're banking off of, and that's how it works. Because if they know they can get a maximum the maximum amount of a Pell Grant out of you, and then still turn around and get another company to loan you money so that you can then pay for your classes, absolutely, they're going to do it. That's an easy $12,000 hit. Who wouldn't do that? You would do that if you had the means and capacity to do it. You do it. I guarantee you do it. But that's the government. That's how our tax system works. And to be fair, nah, I'm not going to tell y'all that one. We'll talk about that one in another video. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll leave some links in the video description, in the video's description below, so you guys can find this yourself or find another episode or something that links to it. You guys have a good time. See you later.